Now that you're all prepared, it's the day of to start filming. The first thing I always do is arrive early, because you never know what's going to happen. Regardless of how much you plan, there's going to be something that you're not going to anticipate. So arrive early so that you give yourself time to problem solve and fix whatever issue there is in that location, whether it be for an event or an interview or whatever it is that you're filming. Let's say you're interviewing someone. There are two main factors that you need to take into consideration when you're going to interview them. One is lighting and two is sound. This is a terrible lighting situation. It's dark and there's a window behind me. This situation isn't ideal because the lighting's not flattering to the subject, but you can at least see what's going on in the shot. Use this if you have to. This is an ideal lighting situation. There's a big window in front of the subject and the subject looks great. If you're filming outside, think about what your background is. I'm showing off WKU's campus, which is in the sun, so you want to put the subject, myself, in sunlight. If your background's in the shade, such as Grice Hall here, put your subject in the shade, like I am now. This is an example of a terrible audio situation. There's a lot of people in the background and a lot of noise. Fortunately for you, I'm wearing a lav mic so you can hear me clear. If you're filming an event or walking around a marketplace where there is a lot of noise, this is okay. But if you're conducting an interview, this isn't ideal because it's going to distract from what the interviewer has to say. Now, this is a great audio situation. There's not a lot of people talking, it's quiet, there's no loud noises such as an AC unit or a road or anything like that. And it brings all of the attention to the person being interviewed. Now, like we discussed in the getting ready portion, I'm using a lav mic like you see here, and that's how you're hearing me clearly. But you may not always have access to a lav mic. So, the rule of thumb that I use is whatever audio recording device that you have is to keep it within 3 feet of the person being interviewed or whatever the subject is. That's going to allow you to hear what they're saying. So keep that in mind. Now with iPhones, you're not able to hear the audio as you're recording it. A good rule of thumb is to play back the video after you're done recording and do a spot check and make sure that it sounds okay. What I mean by composition is where you place the subject within your shot. What is your subject? Is it the person they're interviewing? Are there crops, local wildlife, or something else? This is all contingent on the purpose of your project. Composition can get a lot more technical, and if you want to explore more on the specifics, visit the expert advice section on our CITL website. However, the most important thing is to focus on your subject. Make it on them. Here are some examples of work we've created where you can see how we compose the shots. Just to prove to you how confident I am that you can actually do this, we did this specific video with the same equipment that we're suggesting to you. iPhone, lav mic, and tripod. Now that everything is set up and you're ready to roll, here are a couple things to keep in mind. Don't skimp on the audio. You may be tempted to say, oh, this looks good, I'm in a hurry and the audio will be fine. You should always prioritize audio, especially in the educational world, because what the person says is going to be vital to the information you are trying to get from them. If you skimp on the audio, you could run the risk of coming back with unusable video. Lastly, stay quiet. If you're conducting an interview and asking questions, politely nod and let them answer the questions. You may feel naturally inclined to want to interject and have a conversation with them, but you will make the editing process so much easier on yourself by letting them speak. It'll feel unnatural. Once you get the hang of it, you'll thank yourself. Now hit that record button and capture some awesome video. Your shoot is over and it's time for the last step. Click the next video to learn what to do once you're done filming.